Before we get started, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications whenever we share a video.
With WWDC set to take place in less than 10 days, more news is popping up on what we could expect to see Apple potentially announce during the event, as well as more information about future product releases. And so with that said, we want to start with some pretty interesting news regarding the Mac and Apple's plans to announce a switch to ARM-based Macs. According to Bloomberg, the report claims the first ARM-based Macs will be released in 2021, adding that Apple plans to eventually transition its entire lineup of Mac notebooks and desktops to the custom-designed processors. This lines up with a timeframe shared by analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, who said Apple plans to release several ARM-based Macs starting next year. ARM-based Macs are expected to have several advantages over existing Intel-based Macs, including faster performance and reduced power consumption. Apple would also no longer be at the mercy of Intel's development schedule. The other piece of potentially significant Mac news at WWDC comes with the report from Sonny Dixon that a new redesigned iMac is well on its way. According to Dixon, the new iMac will have iPad Pro design language and thinner bezels similar to those seen on Apple's Pro Display XDR. The iMac will unsurprisingly feature the custom T2 chip that has made its way across the rest of the Mac lineup to integrate several security and controller functions. This revamped iMac could also include graphics processors from AMD's Navi family, introduced last year, and will go all-flash on the storage front with the discontinuation of the hybrid Fusion Drive system. Either way, if these reports are accurate and this design language could resemble the iPad Pro, that's going to be one awesome-looking iMac. Regardless, a refresh seems to be well in the works as shipping estimates seem to be slipping well past WWDC's June 22nd kickoff, which is leading some to believe, myself included, that this is evidence of an iMac refresh coming at the keynote. With that said, DigiTime seems to believe that while the new iMac is set to launch this year, it might not be until later in the second half of 2020, alongside a new 10.8-inch iPad Air and a larger iPad mini. The second half of the year begins just over a week after the WWDC keynote, so it is possible that we could see an announcement there and then shipping happening a bit later in the year, but DigiTimes would likely have used a more specific time frame rather than the vague second half of 2020 if the launch were that close. So, something to keep an eye on there. Regardless, WWDC is shaping up to be one exciting event as usual, and Apple has officially shared details about all of the sessions that developers can expect to see that week. Also, do keep in mind, again, since it's completely virtual, it is also completely free to all developers who wish to attend the sessions, so I highly recommend checking it all out if you can, beginning with that keynote on June 22nd at 10 p.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, where Apple is set to release new versions of macOS, tvOS, iOS, iPadOS, and watchOS. Finally, in some quick headlines, if you were one of the people who wish you could get a Magic Keyboard case for non-iPad Pro models, well, then you might be in luck, as reports have suggested that Apple could bring its Magic Keyboard to other iPad models. Unfortunately, we don't have specifics on what models, but those potentially could be coming in the future. iPhone 12 production is expected to officially begin in July, but it's still possible that some of the higher-end iPhone 12 models might still be delayed. And finally, for those who are looking for some new summer color Apple Watch bands or silicone cases for your iPhone, Apple officially released that lineup over on apple.com, so if you want to pick one up for yourself, go ahead and check it out over there. But that's it. This has been our top headlines and stories for the week in the world of Apple and just tech in general, and would love to know your thoughts about everything that you heard. And if you have anything that you want to share with us, go ahead and leave that in the comment section down below. This has been Dan with MacRumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you around in the next video.